Hi guys, this is Mr. Urrego. Welcome back to our series Beat the Test review for our geometry and of course exam. Alright, so let's tackle question 44. Let's read. Rafael drew a line that passes through 2, -6 and is perpendicular to the line shown on the coordinate grid. Okay, he drew a line that passes through this and is perpendicular to this. Alright, so Rafael, so there's a line right now. Okay, points 0, -3 and 5, 0. So these are the 2 points from this line. And they're saying that Rafael drew a line that is perpendicular to this line. It went through 2, -6. 2, -6, somewhere around here. Okay. Let me draw it anyway, but okay, so let me explain a couple of things. 2, -6 is around here. Do I know if these are perpendicular to this line or to this point? I don't know. And I don't need that. All right. So guys, more than a geometry, this is an algebra problem. Why? Because we're talking about perpendicular lines. Well, it's a connection obviously between geometry and algebra. All of it is connections. So let's say something. The only way to know that two lines are perpendicular is if I have the slopes. So let me explain. Let's call this line 1, L1. And the line 2, whatever the line 2 is, let's say that this is line 2, all right? The one that he drew. Let's call that line 2. All right, in the only way that I can tell that those two lines are perpendicular to each other if the slopes, this M stands for slope. That's going to be the slope of line 1. And the slope of line 2 are opposite, meaning different sign, reciprocal. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Opposite reciprocal. Come on, is -1 over slope 2. Let me give an example of this. Opposite reciprocal. Let's pretend the slope 1 is 2 over 3. Then if the line 2 is perpendicular to this, then the slope here will be reciprocal, which is flipping the fraction. And if my first slope is positive, then the second one is negative. Now these two are called opposite reciprocal to each other. Okay? If I want to verify if two lines are perpendicular, what I do is I multiply the slopes. And I need to get equal to -1. If I get -1, that means that two lines are perpendicular to each other. Let's solve this example. So a slope 1 is 2/3, and the slope here is -3 over 2. How do I multiply fractions? Top with top, which is going to give me -6, and bottom with bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. -6 divided by 6 is -1. So I show you what does an opposite reciprocal mean. And to double check, I multiply the slopes, and if I get -1, that means that two lines are perpendicular to each other. So this is an example using the slopes. Okay? Opposite reciprocal. That's the idea. Let's get into this problem. So having said this, I need to find the slope of my lines. But they're giving me 2 points, 0, -3 and 5, 0. So let's find the slope of line 1. My formula, y2o. A couple of ways how to do it. I can use my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, but I think it's easier to do the rise over run. Yeah, let's do rise over run. Okay, so rise over run, which is the same thing as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is using the points. But if I have the drawing, I can make the triangle easily. So let's make the triangle, guys. So let me erase a little bit so I can make a triangle. All right, here we go. So let's make a triangle. Let's make it with blue. So what happens is the following. If I want to do the rise over run, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this point to this point. I'm going to make a vertical line, and that's going to be my rise. And then the run, which is the horizontal. So if I want to go from point, let's call this point A, for example, to point B. If I want to go from A to B, that means I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go to the right. All right, I want to see how many steps I went up. I'm at -3. 1, 2, 3, so my rise is 3, and it's +3 because I'm going up. So my slope of line 1 is rise, which is 3, over run. And my run went to the right. And that means it's also positive. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. It went from 0 all the way to 5. And it's also positive because I'm going to the right. If I go to the left, it's negative. If I go up, it's positive. If I go down, it's negative. Okay, just keep that in mind. So rise is 3, run is 5. So the slope of line 1 is 3 over 5. Okay, what about the slope of line 2? So I just said that in order for them to be perpendicular, I need to have opposite reciprocal. Look at this. I had 2/3. I flipped my fraction. I changed the sign. So here, my slope 2, I got to flip my fraction. So 3 over 5 turns into 5 over 3. And if the first slope is positive, the second one has to be negative. So the slope of the line that I want, negative 2, 6. My slope that I want is negative 5 over 3. Okay, I have the slope. I have 1 point, which is 2, negative 6. I need to write the equation. How do I write the equation of a line? So the first thing that I have to do is start by writing my slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. I think this is the easiest way. Or, yeah, this is the easiest way. So this is y equals mx plus b. Let's review this. My m is my slope. The b is the y-intercept. I don't have my y-intercept, but I do have my slope, which in this case is slope 2, right? I don't have my y-intercept. I need to find my y-intercept. Let's find it. I found my slope. I have a point. Let me bring a point. 2, negative 6. What's going to happen is, if I have the slope and I have 1 point, I'm going to put that information into this equation and I find my y-intercept. The point that I have, the first value, let me make a line over here. The point that I have, the first value is the x value and the second one is the y value. Okay? I'm going to replace this x and y in this equation. Y is negative 6 equal my slope, which is the slope that I want, that I need, the slope 2, negative 5 over 3. Okay? X is 2 plus b. Okay, if you notice, the only variable that I have here is b, which is the y-intercept. So let's solve for b. Alright, so negative 6, I bring negative 6 down. How can I multiply fraction times a whole number? I make the whole number a fraction. And same as here on the right side, top with top, that's going to give you negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. And bottom with bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. Plus b. Next, I have to cancel that negative 3. I want to get rid of that, right? Because I want to leave the b by itself. So plus 10 over 3 plus 10 over 3. Okay? The right side, that's going to cancel out. And on the left side, I have negative 6 plus 10 over 3. So let's continue here. So I have negative 6 plus 10 over 3 equals to b. How can I add? So right now in this problem, guys, we're solving a lot of things. Okay? How can I add a fraction with a whole number? So first of all, I need to make the whole number a fraction. To add two fractions, they need to have the same denominator. A quick shortcut that I use is I need to have the same denominator. I have a 3 here. How can I turn this one into a 3? By what number do I need to multiply? That's right. I need to multiply this times 3. And that will give me the same denominator. If I multiply times 3 on the bottom, I gotta multiply times 3 on the top. So I have 3 over 3. Let me erase that arrow so it lets me Right, again, if I multiply times 3 on the bottom, I gotta multiply times 3 on the top. How come? 3 divided by 3 is 1. I'm not changing this. I'm not changing this at all. I'm just modifying the denominator. So let's multiply that. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. 3 times 1 is 3. Bring down the 10 over 3. Look at that. I have the same denominator. Now I can add or subtract the top. So let's keep going to the right. So let me make an arrow here. So negative 18 plus 10. Now I just do whatever I have on the top. Because if they have the same denominator, I keep the denominator. So negative 18 plus 10 is going to give me negative 8, and I keep the same denominator. I don't change the denominator. And that's equal to b. Again, negative 18 over 3 plus 10 over 3 is negative 8 over 3. And now that's my y-intercept. Okay, excellent. Now what? I'm ready to write my equation. So let me bring it on the left side and let's write the equation. So my equation is y equals mx plus b. Remember, I'm choosing one of these answers. So now I have my slope, and I have my slope, and I have my y-intercept. Let's plug it in. Y equals m. M is negative 5 over 3. Negative 5 over 3x. Plus b, which is negative 8 over 3. Okay, negative 8 over 3. Alright, now it's algebra. Y equals negative 5 over 3x. Positive and negative stays a negative. Alright, I'm done with my equation, but I don't have that equation here. How come? Because these equations are called standard form. Standard form is when your x and your y are on one side and there's no fractions whatsoever. Okay? So I cannot have fractions, and I do have fractions right now. How can I get rid of a fraction, guys? So the way to get rid of a fraction, and I'm here right now, to get rid of a fraction is I gotta multiply everything by my denominator. My denominator is 3, so I'm gonna multiply times 3. Every single thing. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 over 3x. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24 divided by 3. Let's simplify. 3y. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5x. Negative 24 divided by 3 is negative 8. So right now there's no fractions anymore. You see that? Let me fix this real quick. There's no fractions anymore. Excellent. So 3y. I just want to fix the 3y. Okay, it's looking closer like this, but now as you can see, I have the x and the y on the left side. So I have the x on the right side. That means I have to go to the other side. To cancel the negative 5x from here, I have to add 5x here and add 5x here. Okay? Now, the right side is going to cancel out, and I have negative 8 on the right side. What do I have on the left? X and y. Can I combine them? Nope. So that means I have to bring down the 5x, and the 3y is positive, therefore I put a plus right there. And now let's check if there's any answers like this. 5x plus 3y. 5x, 5x, 5x plus 3y equals negative 8. So I know it's a long process, but we went through a lot of stuff. Perpendicular lines, slope of the lines, slope-intercept form, rise over run, and now finally the standard form of the equation. Long process, but we did a lot. Okay guys, I hope you like it. I hope you understand. Please, if you're learning something, like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's the way you can help us and grow and get to more people. If you like the video is going to be exposed in YouTube, and more people can see it. And that's the idea, to help more people. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Take care.